Okay, guys, so we are continuing to work on our animal research. So last week you gathered all your information about habitat, diet, babies, appearance, life cycle, interests, defects, and behavior. So now it's time to take all of our information and start writing it down into sentence forms. And so yesterday we talked about habitat, and I wrote how some of the information I gathered was that they mostly live in eastern Australia. They live in woods, bushland, grassland, savannas, forests, scrubland. They're highly adaptable. That means they can adapt to any type of environment, and they have a wide range of environments or habitats. So I took most of that information and I wrote it into sentence form. You can find kangaroos in eastern Australia. They do not just live in one area. They live in a wide range of habitats like woods, bushland, grassland, savannas, and forests. That's supposed to say bushland, not bus. Sorry, I already found a mistake. And so, guys, this paper right here is supposed to make like a brochure. You don't have to fold it, but you could fold it. When you do this, it's supposed to make where you can fold it 3 ways. Fold this, and then you fold this part over, and it won't. I mean, it's not going to fold perfectly, but it's fine. So like that. And so that when you open up, you have different areas to read. So we're going to be talking about babies. So what time of babies do they have? Do they have any, so kind of the questionings you were to look for were, what are the animal babies called? How many babies can the animal have? How long do the babies stay with their parents? What do the babies need to survive? So kind of the information I found was they're called joeys. They are born after a month. They stay in their mother's pouch for 100 to 120 days to 400 days. And they, the mother kangaroos can have babies, 1 joey every year. So I'm going to take some of this information that I have, and of course to survive, when they're first born, they need their mother's milk to survive. So I'm going to write that on there. Mother's milk to survive. Okay. So I'm going to take most of this information and I'm going to write it into a sentence. So like I said, you don't have to use every single thing that you wrote down. You can just pick and choose what you want to do. So I'm going to do where it says babies, and so I'm going to, remember, putting this in sentence form any way you want. I don't want you just to list. Here I didn't list. I don't want you just to list. I don't want you to copy just this and write it in. That's not in sentences. I want you to take your information and put them into your own words to create a sentence. So you're telling me, and I don't just want one sentence. You need all of that information is not just going to be jam-packed into one sentence. That's not going to be a correct, complete sentence. So I could probably get 3 or 4 sentences out of this information that I wrote. So I could say kangaroo mothers have 1 baby joey every year. After a month, they are born and need their mother's milk to survive. They stay in their mother's pouch up to 120 to 400 days. Remember how kangaroos have that little pouch in front of their stomachs, and so that kangaroo, after it's born, it's going to stay in that mother's pouch and drink the mother's milk for 120 to 400 days. Think about that. 400 days, guys, is more than a year. So that baby stays in that mother's pouch for anywhere between a year to more than that. So that is very long. So remember, we're not just taking this and listing it. We're taking that information just like I did, and we're making complete sentences. We're making sure that our sentences are starting with capital letters. We're making sure our sentences are ending in the correct punctuation. All right? So that should be babies today. And I'm going to be looking at them. All right, guys.